maybe we're doing a big puzzle or a big geo art that we just want to have a quick log template. So my question to you is, how do you create log templates specifically in the app Cachely?
Okay, yeah, he's as an iPhone user like myself, he uses Cachely. So fortunately, I have you all set up here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up my Cachely that's actually on my iPad, but it runs exactly the same way, Nick. And I know you're an iPad user as well.
Yep, I'm actually doing this on my iPad right now.
Oh, perfect, perfect. Okay, so here is Cachely on my iPad right now, and this is not my home, but Hazleton, Pennsylvania is a bit to my south and my west, and I know that you and probably most of the people in the audience recognize what's going on here, that they could see some solved puzzles and some changed coordinates. They could see some traditionals set around there. But your question is, if I went caching, let's say in Hazleton, for instance, how could I kind of simplify my logging, or maybe even better yet, how could I at least start my logging for a certain day and allow myself some room, if you don't mind me adding to your question?
No, absolutely.
Give a little space to add some special information as well. So here's what I'm going to do. As you look at this screen, you can see that down toward the bottom, you have like these 3 icons in a vertical column here that I can use to access things. Also down at the bottom, I see 3 dots and it says more. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap on that more, and I'm going to go into, hold on, here's my settings. So we're good. I'm in my settings, and I'm going to scroll and get to my section down here on logs. Okay. So it's under settings and go down to log defaults. And the first thing I'm going to do is I have a decision to make. This kind of goes along with log templates, but let me draw your attention to whether you want to send log now or not send log now. Okay. And there are some real advantages to either way of doing it, but to be aware of this, what this is going to do is if send log now is turned on, the minute you hit your submit button, that thing is going to geocaching.com. That doesn't necessarily mean it's posting a find. I'll tell you about that in just a little bit more with the next thing I tell you about save as draft. You have an option there as save as draft, is that instead of submitting your log, as I'll show you in a minute, instead of submitting it as an actual found it right to the page the minute you hit that button, what this could do is it could submit it as a draft. What that does for you is, for those of you who are older geocachers, you probably remember something called field notes, which geocaching changed and renamed to a draft. And those drafts are available from your profile page just to you. When you go on and click on your own name in geocache.com, you can see if you have any drafts saved, formerly field notes. That gives you a chance to look at ones that you've saved these for, and then you could go back into them and edit those logs before you submit them. Now, Nicholas, that's a start to it, but it doesn't answer your question yet. So let's get around to answering your question the way you asked it. And it's right underneath there. I'm going to turn this back off, and I'm going to go to text templates, okay? And under text templates, you'll see that you can create a template for different kinds of caches. You can create a DNF log. You can create a found it log. And you can see that that's checked so that by default, it'll come up as, when you go to log it, if you don't do anything else, it'll log it as a found it. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to just swipe to the left and I'm going to edit this. And you can see that this template name I called found it. That makes sense, I hope. I'm not going to talk about trackables tonight, but your template log type, okay, there, okay, you can see is found it. And then down here, if I click, here is the text that you create. Now, Nick, this is where in the template text, you'll type whatever you want. You see my call sign there. We all use math every day at the bottom. I don't have to retype that over and over again. So it's there. And so here I had created this template text saying Mrs. CM and I are out on this beautiful day in search of geocaches and lots of mileage and hiking. So I'm kind of describing generally the day overall. We love these trails in this SGL, state game lands, as we have it here in Pennsylvania. So we've been spending a lot of time doing that. And then I have some space left in the middle here. That's for me. So when I go and decide I want to log one of these, I'm going to go and I'll just save that as it is. I could have edited that more or whatever. But if I go and let's go back to some geocaches that I have saved, the ones in Hazleton. And I really don't want to log one of these right now because I'm not in Hazleton finding them. But here's one that I can see by those red dots that a lot of people aren't finding. I'll go ahead and click on this thing here by Shane00, whoever that is there, a geocacher from that area. I don't know him, but what we could do is we could go to log geocache. I'm going to tap on that at the bottom, and you can see it comes up as a found it by default. You can see its time is set for right now. And the message, I can go in here and I can edit that. So Nick, that was your starting text you put in there. And I could just tap right in here and I could type in some other text, something like this was tough or something like that. And it's all ready to go. I didn't even have to do that. Okay. If I go back and then all I have to do is, I don't want to hit this now, but I can click on that send now up at the top right in that window. And that will submit that. You notice that send log now is turned on. That will submit that automatically as a log to geocache.com. I'm going to, there we go. Christina, we got you in the room. Can we hear you?
Hello.
Awesome. Awesome. Welcome. All right. So good. We got everybody that we need to get into the room right now. All right. So that hopefully, Nick, does that answer your full question?
Yes. I have a follow-up question.
Fire.
2 follow-up questions. First question is, I've never really explored this, but I've noticed how some people change their fonts like to bold letters in a template. How does one do that?
Oh, you know what? This is a great time to ask it because I haven't left this room I haven't left this dialog box. So if I would go in here right now and I want to change that, now I got to keep these straight in my head. I believe 1 asterisk is italics, 2 asterisks is bold. If I have that, it's possible I might have that backwards. 3 asterisks. If you look at what I have surrounding me all day, yeah, that's bold and italics. Marilyn, I think that was you saying that. Did I have it backwards?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I'm pretty sure you have it right.
I have it right. Okay, good. So
yeah.
If I want to say, let's surround the word tough in italics, then from what Marilyn was saying, all I got to do is go up and say, where is my asterisk? There it is. So I'm going to put 1 asterisk there, and I'm going to put 1 asterisk surrounding it on the other side. And Nick, I don't want to submit this one, but the fact that
yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, good. So, all right, very good. Did you have another follow-up question?
Yeah, second follow-up question, and this just happened while I saw your map. Can you just talk briefly about the type of map you were just using?
Oh, yes. Okay, like the map underneath all of those graphics.
Map of the caches.
Gotcha. Okay, so let's go back. I'm going to hit cancel on that. Let's go back to the map. There it is. And if I just scrunch out here a little bit, okay, this map probably looks a little bit different than many people using Cachely. This one here, I do believe I have as one of the premium maps on here. And folks in the audience, forgive me for making a plug, but, you know, frankly, I mean, this is, I think, one of the features of Cachely I love the most is that it's a steal of a deal that for $3 one-time fee, this is worth way more than $3. you can have unlimited downloads of premium mapping. Let me show you how you can get that. Nick, right now in the bottom right, you'll see those two little square icons, and one of them, the top of the two, is that map layer button. I'm going to click on that, and it will pull up what kind of maps I'm using. And you can see right now that I'm using US Northeast with extras. Okay, that is an example of a premium map. Okay, you can see that two other maps I have stored on my iPad. I don't know why I have the standard map in there, but anyway, US Northeast Standard and US South Standard are in there as well. And I could store as many maps as my device has room to store. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to go up to offline maps, and tap on that. And you can see that there are all kinds of other maps that are available here for different places in the world. Let me go into North America, and why don't I pick on North Carolina? What I'm going to do,
Sounds good.
yeah, where it works perfectly, right? So I'm going to go to the United States and look at the individual United States, and I'm going to see that I have the option for North Carolina and extras. And you can see that off to the right, there's a button that like a little cloud download thing that I can download from the cloud, these premium maps for North Carolina. I think I'm probably near the end of the Cache questions, so I'm going to say, all right, why not? Let's take a look. This is not something you want to do while you're in the field, because as you can see, that's about 400 megabytes worth of map downloading, and it's going quite fast right now because I'm on Wi-Fi here at home. It's smart to do this at home, and you can see that all loading.
So let me ask you a question while this is downloading. What's the benefit of using this offline map versus just a regular Google hybrid map?
That's a good question. And Google, could be available for you everywhere, so long as you have service. If you don't have service, you're not going to be able to pull up that Google map in a certain place. So you're going to be really limited. You're going to be strapped in what you can use. On the other hand, when I download this, as you can see, it's now checked off. Okay. If I go back and take a look at what's available to me now, hold on, let's get back and say done, go away. There we go. And let's suppose that I wanted to go down to, say, North Carolina. Well, okay. There's my problem right now, Nick, is that there's nothing down there for North Carolina. And if I was driving around, I'd be limited on what I could see in North Carolina. But because I had taken the time to prep in advance, I can take a look at North Carolina mapping now and look at that. So I can zoom in on places that I've been before, like Reidsville, North Carolina. And these maps that's pretty good, isn't it?
That's really good, yeah.
Yeah. So the thing is that, even if you weren't geocaching somewhere, it's amazing. I'll take a stab at this and just see if this works. Okay, I don't know if I picked the best spot for this, but it's great because it actually shows me hiking trails in places like, for instance, Maryland, Muttonville Preserve. It shows great trails that the other maps don't show. Google didn't have anything for, Nick, I know
You say hiking trails in the park?
Yeah, I could see the hiking trails in the park if I download those premium maps, but Google didn't have those trails for Mutton Hill Preserve yesterday. So that's a great example of a good use of this. Okay.
Thank you so much.
You are welcome. All right. So let's switch off next. Marilyn, let's take your question next. So I probably don't need that screen sharing. So I'm going to stop the screen sharing for now. And Marilyn, go ahead. What was your question?
I want to know how to access notes on cache pages that were written in the past. How do I do a search for them?
Yeah, and Marilyn, if you would like, speak a little bit about like what might be the advantage to being able to pull up, like, let's say, old notes or something.
Well, in the past, we've found challenge caches that we did not qualify for. So, but we would post a note to the cache page saying that we found it and we logged it, but we're not posting it as a found it until we complete the challenge. So I
Okay.
want to be able to go back and look for those notes so we can log the find after we complete the challenge.
All right. That's a good example. Let's do this. I'm going to get ready to pull up geocaching.com. And I'm going to go to my own account for this. Hang on. Okay. So, and let me do this. I'm going to switch you off to my screen in just a second. Let me adjust my window just a little bit here and then share that screen with you.
You don't want to see how we do it.
Window, and where did that? There it is. Okay. So you guys can see that okay?
It's coming up.
Fine.
All right. Very good. Yeah, I know,
Okay.
Marilyn, a little bit of lag.
I got it.
Okay, good. So let's do
I got
this.
it.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to go and take a look at my own account here. And in my own account, you'll see that while you're there, you can see what caches I've been playing with lately. But you recognize those, don't you, Marilyn? All right. But you can also,
yes.
if I go in up here and I click on geocaches, not mine, but just geocaches. Geocaches. Come on, geocache.
Okay.
There we go. Okay. So you can see, this is actually kind of funny. You recognize this one, don't you, Marilyn? Is this one yours?
Yes.
No, it is. Okay.
Is
Yeah.
that Squeaky's? Yes. You couldn't find that?
That was my only DNF of the day yesterday. Our only DNF of the day yesterday.
Was there a lot of ivy there?
There was a lot of everything there. Yeah. I remember. Yeah. I don't want to get off on a tangent too much here, but yeah, you had a really good hit and there was a really obvious place to look for it. And I don't know, maybe that really good hint applied to somewhere else that was there. In fairness, I didn't have a lot of time to spend on that one because you know where else I was hiking if I was there, right? So we were getting a little short on time. Yeah, there was one that was probably 0.4 of a mile north of that I really, really wanted. So, but anyway, it was a great day. So what I'm going to do is this. I want to go, once you get to this page, look at this. This is like really useful. You can view your own logs by log type. And that's really critical because now if you go in here, you can see that there's an option for write note. Now, let's suppose that you like, and I guess you probably would be this way, like many geocachers, if you find the cache, but you're not sure whether you qualify for it. I mean, this happens to me somehow. Sometimes if I'm not certain I qualify for it from the field, I'll just write the note right then. And, you know, to be honest, if I click on this, I'm going to probably find ones that I already qualify for. I just haven't gotten around to going back and looking at them. But look at some of these here. Here's one that I recently did, okay, that I don't qualify for yet, but I believe I'm going to qualify for it soon, okay? And there it is. So it's kind of nice because you can see your most recent caches that you log notes for them, and you can always scroll back and look for them. And Marilyn, if you wanted to, you could even just go, you know, find however you find, like Command F in your favorite browser, and just, you know, find the word challenge and let that pop up. So it's a great way to get that done. Now, I mean, I'm sure there's people in the audience that have other like ways that they like to do it. But I guess this is like a preferred way for me. On geocaching.com on the website, just like on Cachely, there's often many ways to accomplish the same thing. And yeah, anyway, this is the way I like to do it because I know I can always go back to that. And I have actually gone back and logged challenges months after I found them, just because I could go and do that. So. Was that good, Marilyn? Was there any follow-up to that, or did I answer it for you?
I'm not. You said you can do a search for the word challenge in the note.
No.
Or
Let me
you can just look
for
at the notes.
for the word challenge. Yes. So like if I'm here now, and if I go Command F for me, brings up this.
So you do that command. Okay, Command F.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's going to find all the occurrences of challenge in this list right now, and I can scroll down. It'll load more of them. So that way I can skip over. Like obviously you're probably posting notes on other things too. So
Oh yeah.
yeah. So this way you can kind of skip over them when you're going through. Okay.
Okay, that's great. Yep,
Very
that works. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So, Christina, we're up to you now. Welcome back to the room.
Thank you.
All right. Good. Your video and audio is working great. That's good. And Christina, you had, I think, a couple questions, kind of related ones. So, what were you asking?
So my first question is, I'm attempting to publish a cache, and I'd like to add a photo to that cache page.
A photo to it. Okay. Probably the easiest thing I could do here is, and I've done this in other workshops before, I'm just going to create a dummy cache. So from scratch. Does that work okay? And then the nice thing is that I can make this come up on share screen, and because this is being recorded, you don't even have to take notes. So you'll be able to see everything just pop up, when you go and watch this later on my YouTube channel. So here we go. I'm going to go and let me open up another window. I know you're not seeing this happen yet. And I'm going to go geocaching.com, and I'm going to go to, I'm going to hide a geocache, and I'm just going to go to create a new geocache, and we'll just leave it. Hold on. All right, we should be good and ready to go. So let me do and switch this over to that window. Share screen, and this should be the right one. Okay, good. You guys can see that?
Yes.
All right. So
yep, see just fine.
All right, awesome. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to pick a hiding spot, let's say, for this thing, just to get started. And here we go. And let's keep it simple for right now. Let's just make this a traditional geocache. Okay. So, and this is going to be difficult here. I'm going to have to make up some coordinates on the fly. So north 41, let's say 30.123 by west. Watch this be in the middle of water or something. I guess that's not going to stop me from there. West 74. Right. 74, we'll say 40.
It's a water cache.
Yeah. I could probably put it in the middle of the ocean or something, except it's going to tell me I can't do that because I don't live close enough to that. But
to maintain it.
20. Yeah, right. Confirm. Oh, that looks like a good place, a perfect place to put it. Okay. Because I can see that there's only one other known cache there that's going to possibly stop me from hiding anything in that proximity circle. So I can put this here. So I'm going to go ahead and say continue. And I'm not going to bother with any of this stuff. You don't need that part, I know.
Really quick, Kevin, I have a question.
Yep.
If you wanted to add the parking coordinates, do you need to have the parking coordinates or the waypoints before you do that?
You need to know what those coordinates are, yes. But the nice thing, though, Nick, is that if you do that, let's suppose you don't have parking coordinates yet. You could either hold back on publishing it, and then you can still go back and edit that cache before you submit it to the reviewer. So, in fact, I'll tell you what. Let's plan on doing that. Okay, so I'll try to take care of your question and Christina's at the same time. I'm going to call this Christina's awesome geocache or something. And
because they all are.
Because they all are. And it's placed by me, but I'm going to call myself Christina for the sake of, I don't know, whatever. And it's placed today, we'll say, someplace in New York. Okay, so that must have picked a place in New York. Okay, here we go. This is where the action happens now, Christina. we're going to create a description. Now, I'd like to keep this kind of simple for right now, and I'm going to show you like the way I might do this. So I'm going to start by just typing some text. You are going to love this geocache. Trust me. Go and find it. And if you don't like it, don't sue me. Okay. All right, good. I got all the legalese in there too. So I've got this all set to go. All right. And what I want to do is I want to add a hint. Look under the tree roots or something. I don't know. Okay. And everyone can see this geocache. I read and agreed to the terms and continue. All right. Christina, what size geocache are we hiding underneath the tree roots?
Oh, we're going to hide a micro.
Micro. Okay, good. All right. And difficulty and terrain. God, give me some numbers.
2.
2 and 2, 2.
And yeah, that's fine.
All right, 2, 2.
Yeah.
So click right there. All right. Attributes. It's good for dogs. And
there are always ticks.
oh yeah, ticks. Where's the tick symbol on here? There we are. Yeah, living where we do in a tri-state, you better know that one, right? Okay. So, and snakes. Okay, we'll throw that one in. Dangerous animals. Okay, just for fun. All right, so because snakes are fun. I'm going to go ahead and say save and preview. And there it is. Christina's awesome geocache. Now, I haven't gotten this ready yet, but I'm going to do 2 edits now. One edit, Nick, is for you. One edit, of course, is for Christina, who asked the original question. Let me take care of Nick's question first. I'm going to edit this cache, and let's suppose that while I was thinking of this great cache, I realized that no one's going to know how to get there, so I want to add in some parking coordinates. So I'm going to go edit cache, and here we go. I'm going to go and find these extra waypoints here. And where did they go?
Passed them.
I passed them.
It's a
Attributes, background image, add waypoint.
right
Yeah,
under waypoints.
Yep, under waypoints. I can find the waypoints under waypoints. Okay, and it's nice. I won't have to make up coordinates that are too far away from parking because they automatically start out by giving you, Nick, the location of the geocache. So at least you're kind of close to it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say, let's suppose the parking is at 30.000 and 40.000 here. And of course, I want these to be visible because what's the point of having parking coordinates if it's not visible to the people finding it? And this is a very nice parking lot. You don't have to say anything there, but that'll work. Okay. So looks like we're all good to go. Okay, with that one. And if I want to add another parking waypoint or other ones like reference points or a trailhead like this, I could say that the trailhead might be at 3100, and I could say at let's say that for want of anything better to do with it. Okay, and I'll come down here, and I don't want to submit for review, but let's say save and preview. Okay, and I scroll down here and I can see that? So that's how you get the parking in there. So you can do that with any of your existing caches, even after people have been finding them if you want. Okay, and you can even edit those by going in there. Okay, Christina, after you called this your awesome geocache, you look at the actual description and you think to yourself, well, that doesn't look very awesome. It looks kind of boring, right? So you hide some amazing, and this is in front of everybody, Christina hides some amazing physical geocaches out there. But of course, now we want to have something amazing on the cache page to go with it. So she wants to have a picture there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and get a picture. I think I have one saved. It's probably not going to make any sense here, but I think I have one saved from a previous CM's classroom. So let me see if I can get to that. What I want to do is I want to add an image to this thing. So this hasn't been published yet. So I have to go in here to edit cache. Oh, what? I want to go edit cache. Why did it do that here? Oh, for crying out loud. Okay, so how did I get logged out? Okay, sign in. All right, so there we go. There's all those waypoints we added and that kind of thing. Let's go and find where adding images is in here and cache images. I'm going to add an image to the cache gallery. Now, this is actually a double answer to a question because last week in CM's classroom, the question came up, about using third-party websites for hiding, for placing an image or that sort of thing. I would say if you don't have a good reason to use a third-party site, don't do it. Place all your images for geocaches on geocaching.com's web space. First of all, it's free. Second of all, the only time it goes down, you're not going to care if it goes down because people won't be able to see the cache in the first place. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Add Images, and let's choose a file, and let's go to my desktop, and CM's Classroom, yay! There we go. Oh, Marilyn, this is going to be fun. I'm going to use this picture. You know this picture, don't you? Okay.
I don't know. I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, duck.
Oh.
We don't have gooses there on Long Island, right? Okay, so.
Oh, no, not at all.
Yeah, right. I know the answer to that one. Okay, there you go. You recognize that picture, don't you, Marilyn?
I do. I do.
Okay, so that cache, that picture is now, Christina, that's up on the internet, the interwebs, if you will, thanks to me uploading it to a geocaching cache page. It's there. But the problem is I need to get to have the address for this thing so that I can access it for my geocache page. This is the key. Once you have that thing up there, what I'm going to do is going to click on that image, and I'm going to come and look at, can you see this? I just want to make sure that I didn't lose you on that.
Yeah, that's a third window.
All right, good. And can you see up at the top this big long mess?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Try to remember that it looks like Amazon AWS, okay? Because that's a server name used by geocaching.com for images and who knows what else. I'm just going to click right there, and I'm going to just copy that entire mess. That is the code name, the address of where geocaching.com stored this JPEG, stored this image. And now what I'm going to do is go back to your geocache. You're seeing this right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
What I want to do is I want to use a little HTML magic here. Okay, I know there's other ways we can do this, but this is the way I want you to be able to see to do this. I'm going to go down here, and I'll start this in a new paragraph. Not that you have to, but this is the important part. I'm going to type a little less than symbol, the beginning of an HTML tag. IMG, image, space, just one space. SRC, that's source. Image source equals. And then I'm going to just type two quotes right next to each other and stick something in between them. Right there. I'm going to paste that ugliness that I just saw before. And I'm going to go to the end and close that up. And then I'm going to just close up my paragraph with this. Now, the two paragraph things, Christina, you don't have to use them. Okay, that has nothing to do with that image appearing. All that means is that, like, I've ended the previous paragraph before I had the pictures show up, and then I go to another paragraph after that picture. But that's what I've got in. Did that make sense, Christina? What I did with that address?
Yes.
Okay. So let's go ahead and we're going to not submit for review, but let's say save and preview. And hopefully you're about to see some good news when that loads. And when I scroll down, look at that. Okay.
That is some like magic right there.
That is HTML magic. That's right. Okay. So you can see that showing up there. And, you know, maybe for another time, looking at the clock here, what we can do is if you have follow-up questions, just to throw some by you that if you're interested, are there ways that I can tweak the size that appears? Like it's way too big. I want it to just be a little thing, or I want it to appear on the right and let the text flow around it or something like that. Oh, look, we have time. Let's at least do that. So I'm going to make it smaller and make text flow around it. And we'll probably call it after that. Let's go edit cache one more time. I want to edit that source code. And what I'm going to do is this time image, I'm going to go right in here and I'm going to make an adjustment to this. I'm going to say, I'm going to totally guess at these numbers, Christina, so it's probably going to look terrible, but let's try this. The geocache is awesome. We already know that. So I'm going to go height equals, and then we're going to say the height equals how many pixels? Let's say 300. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to say width equals 400 pixels. Okay, which is much smaller than what we had. Now, I'm going to do this in steps. Let's go save and preview and see what this looks like. See what it did? I actually
really good.
Took some good guesses at the dimensions of that thing. But anyway.
Have you done that before?
Yeah, just a few times. So 3x4 is a real common one there. Think of your Pythagorean triples. That comes in handy that way. But anyway, that what I did is took a guess and it ends up looking pretty good. It looks smaller. And the thing is that I have it so that here it is. And we got this text on the top and this text on the bottom. And the image between it a little bit smaller. But let's show you one more trick here. One more bonus trick. I'm going to edit that cache again. Oh, my gosh. It's crazy.
Sassy tonight.
I was going to say, this geocaching website doesn't like me at all, does it? Okay, I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to say, let's actually start to wrap this thing around it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go inside here where I said height is 300, width is 400. We're going to do one more thing. We're going to say align equals, let's say right. What that's telling this thing to do is right align the picture within the text box, if you will, that it's in. And let me do one more thing to make that clear what's going on. This is going to look really stupid, but you know, again, the geocache is awesome, so I can get away with a little stupidity here. There, good. So you repeat your point quite a bit there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, and instead of putting it there, I'm going to cut it out of there and just put it right in here. Now, that's just so you can see the effect of this. In this first paragraph, the first thing that appears is the image, but it's right aligned. That's going to have a major effect because all the text that's in that same paragraph with it now is going to flow right around it, okay? And that text will be on the left side, as usual, but the image will be over toward the right. Let's see how that thing looks now when I go and save and preview. And does that make sense?
Lovely.
There you go. So that page right there, I gonna just kind of go back and look at that source code with you. If you guys in the audience or somebody wanted to take a screenshot of that, I'll just leave that here for you. a little bit. So I'll count to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Did you
10.
take a screenshot? Can you
Yeah,
see it?
hopefully you all got that.
Kevin, I'm having trouble reading it. It's really super tiny on my screen,
Is it?
so I don't know what to do. Yeah, it's super tiny on my
I
screen.
might be able to help. See if this works. You know what? It's not letting me. Let me see if I
It's
can.
a little
It looks
better.
okay on my screen.
I can't get the whole screen large on my laptop.
Yeah. Okay. It's with other kinds of windows. If I compress this, it looks bigger
Yeah, I know.
on that screen. But there's a limit.
Can you do me a favor and can you shoot that in an email to me so I have that coding?
I could even do better. What I'm going to do is for everybody in the audience, I'm going to go ahead and just copy and paste. Ooh, I hope that doesn't break anything. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take a screenshot of that you guys will all be able to see, and I'm going to paste that after this is done. Like probably, it's going to take probably about an hour to get there, I think. But I'm going to screenshot that, and I'm going to paste that right under the thread in Tri-State Geocachers. Okay, so that'll be
perfect. Thank you.
All right. Christina, how did we do? Did we answer all your questions?
To start with, yes.
Okay. Are there any that you had before that I didn't answer, or?
Well, now, so you've added some code in there to move it to the right, which I liked. Now, you immediately put in the image and had the text flow around it. Can you put it more in the middle of the paragraph to have it more of a wraparound kind of effect?
Okay. When you say wraparound, center aligning the image and wrapping around is, that's like
okay. Well, if you were to scroll down right now, and there you go, save and preview.
Oh, okay. I think I know where you're going to go with this. Go ahead. Would you like?
Okay, so you see how you have a bit of the text down at the bottom that kind of goes under the photo?
Yes.
So what if you wanted a bit of that to go on top of the photo?
Very good. Actually, I was 50-50 on what you were going to say. So let's go ahead and try this one. I can fix that. I'm going to go to Edit Cache again. Hope it doesn't log me out. Okay, yay, I'm still in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to the source code, and let's take this out of here. The only reason I put it in here is I wanted you to see that wraparound effect. But you know what? There's a good chance you don't want that. So one good way I can pull this off is let's pick a spot like right here. And I'm just going to kind of, there's two ways I can think of to do it. Let's just end this paragraph right here. Okay, this tag here is an end of a paragraph that's kind of the end of the paragraph that began here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start a new paragraph here. And in between these two, what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste that code that I just had. But let's add in there the fact that I want this image to be centered. Align center. Now, that center doesn't refer to up and down center. That refers to left-right centering. So, in fact, I'll tell you what, just to emphasize the effect, let's make this picture really tiny. So 150 by 200, okay? So you'll really be able to see what that just did. Save and preview. Yep. Oh my gosh, what in the world? I don't know why is it? Oh my gosh.
Hit the sign in button, see what happens.
Let me try this. I don't know what's going on with that. Almost looks like someone's hacking into my account while I'm doing this or something.
I hope not.
I've been having all kinds of trouble with the geocaching website. I don't know whether you guys are, but
I have.
Have you?
Yes.
Okay. Now look at that. I didn't even log back in, and I'm back in. All right. So I'm going to go to my website. Someone from Geocache.com is watching. You can watch this right now. I'm going to go in here, and
you're not sharing the screen anymore.
Oh, is that right? That's right. So let's get that. I had to create a new screen for that. Share screen, application window, and this one. Can you see that now?
Yes.
All right, sweet. So hopefully it won't log me out again. It looks like I lost the changes, though, I made. So let's see if I can edit the cache without getting booted off the website again. Christina, is this similar to the problems you've been having with the website?
No, actually, I couldn't get my map to load today.
Oh, I have seen that one too this weekend, in fact. Yeah, if that's odd behavior too. And I've heard other people saying that one. There's a group that had a few people talking about, you know, what's wrong with the maps in geocaching.com. Okay, let's go down here and let's try that again. I want to take this here, go in here, and let's go save and preview. What? All right, hold on.
Did you want the image file in there twice because you didn't delete it from the top?
Yeah, that shouldn't make it. You're right. I don't want that to happen. But it shouldn't make any difference.
Did you want it to align into the middle?
Let me. Oh, what is going on? You know, this is not going to let me change it.
There it is.
Yeah. Okay. I'll tell you what.
You broke the website.
Folks in the audience, sorry. I can't control this one. But Christina, I can tell you what will happen when this works again. Okay. And that is that it's going to place that image. It's going to be small and centered, left, right, centered. Okay. Right in the middle of the screen, in between two sections of text, which I think is just what you were looking for, right?
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Hopefully before next time we have one of these, they'll fix the website and figure out what's going on with that. But yeah. Anyway, good enough. All right. So, hey, folks in our audience, let me just make a couple of quick plugs for you. I'm going to let you know about a couple of cool things coming up here. First, hold on. First thing, for Tri-State geocachers, you guys will like to know this, but Geo Elmo, a local geocacher for us, is going to be doing a really cool interview on Friday at 7 p.m. And this is an event open to everybody. And you can go and hear him interview Brian Snatt, a local geocacher from the northern part of New Jersey. And he goes way back. He is a reviewer with a lot of stories about what geocaching used to be like. So he's going to, he's a charter member and a reviewer who's reviewed caches. Like I've seen his name on caches all over the country. So that should be a really interesting interview. That's going to go from 7 till maybe a little shy of 8. And then what will happen is at 8 o'clock, we have another event coming up that we have been doing our weekly Tri-State Meat Greeting event, COVID edition, which means we don't gather in person, but online. And so you can join us. We're planning a new game and geocaching fellowship like we like to do for everybody. That's open to members of Tri-State Geocachers Facebook group. And if you're a geocacher seeing this and you want to join our group so you can get access to all these things, you're welcome to do that. So anyway, thanks for joining us. Marilyn, I see your video back again just for a second. Yeah, boy, we're having fun with tech tonight. So, all right. Nick, Marilyn, and Christina, watch for a text from me coming right after we end this one. So everybody, you guys all have a good night, and we'll talk soon. We all use math every day.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
Thanks,
thank
Kevin.
you. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Have a good night. See you Tuesday.